What up, man? How you feeling today? Now, basically, this has been such a good week where NQ's been moving pretty good, YM's moving pretty good, but this is now a time where we need to start looking at um our options, okay? So we're going to switch our focus from NQ a little bit and go towards the stock market, okay? And so a lot of people they like decide what market they kind of like at first, and it might be kind of, experimental because you're still finding yourself as a trader. And so when you get into some of these other markets, um, you might discover things that you like or dislike about that market where um, you have to decide as a person what works for you. So I have traders who, again, because I trade all assets, crypto, I like options, I like forex, I like futures. Okay. My bad. I'm trying to light the blunt real quick. It's never a video without a blunt, right? But we haven't been able to lose the lighter very often, which is good. So, but as you can tell from the title of this video, we're talking about my favorite setups coming up for options, okay? And that basically includes AAL, right? American Airlines. And these are just some of the things that I like to trade. So, um, second half of this video, um, we can talk more about. When I say second half, that means part two, knowing me. Um, just talking about other things that you guys like. So if you guys want to give me some stocks to look at, you definitely can drop me a comment. And so American Airlines, Nike, and thinking about maybe let's say Alibaba or hmm, let's see, either that or DocuSign, either one. So I'll say Nike, DocuSign, AAL. We're gonna get to Baba if we have enough time. But long story short, right? You notice how we're on a weekly chart, okay? And somebody is going to yell at me, so hold on. Put the settings on. All right. Watermark. So that's for you. All right. Now, the biggest reason why I wanted to bring these up exactly, right, is I want you guys to have an understanding of how to trade options better. And I know we talk a lot on this channel about algorithms, algorithmic price delivery, uh, how there's more than one algorithm. That's hilarious. But I want you to be more understanding of like your trade plan and how you actually view the marketplace based on what's happening. So, for example, if we start to look at like just a year, right? Obviously, and I do this with a lot of these assets. Um, and we calibrate, right? So, we're looking at like January to January, okay? So, long story short, obviously, when you're looking at a weekly chart, it's not so much going on in here to where we can't figure out the narrative, right? So, when we see how all this price action in here, if I zoom out, and I can go to a monthly chart to even make it a little better, you see what we're working with, right? So far, all we did this year was come down, take this low, and basically turtle soup that, right? Old low is created. We go up, making buy side liquidity, and we come down, turtle soup setup to go long, right? If you aren't sure what a turtle soup setup is, I'll make a new video, but there's an older one on the channel as well if you scroll all the way to the bottom, okay? It's funny because I'll be talking, letting the blunt go out. This weed tastes incredible. Really does. Wow. I finally got over the dark leaves. I like them now. They've been in my presence, and I have so many packs of them. I'm just like, I mean, okay, well, I guess I'll smoke them because I got them, right? But when you see stuff like this, right? And again, the bigger monthly time frame shows you how clean this is. And again, the bigger the time frame, the stronger the narrative on the bias. Bias on the narrative. However, I would like to put that, right? So my whole point is when you're seeing something like this, right? Oh, low got taken. Everyone in here who had a sell stop or retail traders are going to be found in this area, right? Okay. We have liquidity week this week coming up. So we're getting you geared up towards liquidity. All right. Visually, it's always going to be these little points here. These reversal points, these reversal points. Important, right? Once price comes down here, it takes an old low. You have to be looking for the buy side. You have to. Now, smart money and dumb money, the way they operate is really, really funny. And if you've ever been to one of my live streams, you see how often I start laughing about price. And it gets creepy only because, like, we understand how retail thinks support and resistance, right? So, yes, they're not wrong that it's bullish in here. We get that. Say, see this? Hey, we went up here last time. When we get back down here, what do you think they're going to do at this level? Why do you think it does not support here and it goes way down before giving a massive retracement? Now, again, I know you're understanding that this is a huge imbalance on your weekly, so it's probably going to want to rebalance that, yeah. But you're not a support resistance trader, but most are. They think that this is going to be a support, right? And even though you're still in a buy program from underneath this low, it's not that you can't engage this, but you need to wait and understand when to operate. Okay? Now, the funny part, right, is this is January and this is July. Now, I've talked to you guys before about how the year works, right? You have 4 quarters, right? Q1 through 4, right? Q1 is typically going to be your like accumulation or X, right? So my bad. I wanted to use a different tool. There we go. So 9 times out of 10, Q1 is going to be your consolidated mess. It just plays inside the same range normally, right? Okay. And then on top of that, when you're looking at a Q2, it's typically your too far, too fast. Yeah. Manipulation for Q2, right? And I could change the color on that to make you comfortable, right? And again, just to get you in the gear, right? So if this is our accumulation, typically blue, manipulation red, and again, if we talk about July, right? July is Q3. So July, August, and September is Q3, which is essentially your distribution. And when we talk about all this, the only reason why we care about any of this is because of the expected price action. So if you want to say, yo, when is it going to be trendy? July. July. None of this is a secret. So when you're looking at, again, January to January, look how clean this is, right? January, February, March, April, right? April, May, and June. That starts you off on July. And you see my point. What are we looking at? Q1, Q2, Q1, Q2, Q3, right? and leading. This is the start to Q4, October, right? Now, you understand that we talked on this channel so many times, but when we get to this, right, the most important part is that this is not a support system right from here. It's not going to do that. It's going to go down significantly to where everyone here is uncomfortable because they have buys, right? And anybody here who got new longs immediately destroyed, and this creates trend line liquidity again towards the upside. So all this here, French toast. And like I said, I teach the kids in my family, so I got to use funny words so they understand exactly what I mean by, hey, this area is just not reliable. It's bound to get demolished the next time we get there. And we do. And like I said, look at the vibe here. Now, for anybody who's understanding, right, of so like this is like the last week of July, right? Notice how again like the 29th and um this being like the 5th of August, right? Again, I just want you to be understanding of price, right? That again, it's a time and a price for everything, and you don't have to rush it. Got to understand that. Now, more importantly, watch this. Like, what are we looking at now? So now that you have an understanding of like when we're expecting this thing to move for the year, right? And again, make the bulk of your money in the summer. Make the bulk of your money July, August, September, October, November, December. Make the bulk of your money. Because Q1 and Q2, or I mean, Q2 is fun if you understand what's going on. Q1 is rough. Q1 is rough, dude. It is not fun. Do other activities at that point in the year, is what I say. I'm not saying you can't trade, but you're not going to have a fun time as you do during a manipulation or period of distribution, I'll say. So watch this. What are we looking at? To give you some context, okay? I'm looking at a 9 power of 3, so let's annotate. We're looking at the 9 power of 3 dealing range. All right. Now, my whole point in looking at this, right? Again, we're talking about time. Okay. So we talked about 2024 essentially. Okay. Now, 23, if you really wanted to look back, I do want to give you this perspective. All right. And again, we're just looking back. Okay. I want you to understand stuff. Now, look, January to again, January. All right. Now, what I can do is you can actually come into the settings here, and if you feel uncomfortable, you can actually just extend the days. So come in and just do 900 days. How about that? See what I mean? Perfect. Now we can see why price reacted a certain way, right? When we were sell side coming from up here, right? And just to get rid of this for a moment, when we were sell side coming from down here, you see how this was a powerful down run, right? Okay. Now, when you get into 2023 and then obviously 2024, and I'll put that last line in, and we'll keep these on screen for analysis. All right. So we'll keep that there. All right. And we're going to lock the box. All right. Now, Pete, this right here. All right. So when we're operating 2023, 2024, we put on our goldback levels, right? This is the cool thing about stocks. Do you see how long it really takes for this to really operate this partition? And you don't really got to go too far out of this thing at all. And just understanding that each day you're probably going to just operate based on the 3 because you can really just dominate the 3 and the 9. You are in so much control. Yes, you wouldn't have been able to see that and be able to sell that off no problem. And where's liquidity? Right here. Perfect. Now let's zoom in, right? So you can see exactly what I'm saying. You're already above a liquidity pool. This is July. Again, what did I tell you about July? Distribution, right? Does its motherfucking job. Perfect. 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 Mm-hmm. Hit the blunt. Make sure you gotta drink water, man. Gotta stay hydrated. And long story short, this reminds me of setups that I used to take when I was younger. And we all had that moment where we just could not wait to, man, I just can't wait to get a good one. I mean, you could find this day in and day out because you're understanding where price needs to go. It's not really a secret anymore. So when I'm telling you that, yeah, you're going to dominate July, August, September, and it'll look right into October here. See that? This is the start of October here. So you got this move and you get a Q4 reversal. And when we talk about functionality, right? Q3 and Q4 are both distribution cycles. However, Q3 is going to be the real direction of the year, the real move, right? And then Q4 is either going to be a continuation of that or it's going to be a straight up motherfucking reversal, bro. You feel what I'm saying? And you stay that way till January. Algorithm resets. You do the shit all over again. So that's what I'm saying. Bringing us to these levels, right? Again, we took out a clear liquidity, right? Down here. And we're going to keep them, right? So we're going to do that and take away these here for that. All right. All right. Now, again, we talked about this turtle soup, right? Now, the funny part is it just, just, just hits this discount, doesn't quite reach this low, which is really funny because either way, I know a lot of people get bothered by this. Now, I know you should not because if you understand what a rejection block is, you should be hyped on a rejection block more than the low, if I'm honest. But when you're looking at some of these things here, it makes me think like, what did price run into? Is there anything down here that we're able to even like? And every time, bro, every time. My bad. But long story short, we're looking to see. I'm clicking every other button that I don't want to click, right? But we're essentially seeing exactly what we want. Okay. So the reason why I was saying, right, and come in here, maybe I need 2,000 days. I don't know. Perfect, perfect. It's actually perfect. Oh my God. Look how perfect that is. All right. So watch this, please. All right. Now, so far what I'm telling you is that you would have known this is bullish. And I want you to really see this, okay? What do we find down here randomly? And this is why, again, I could show you this stuff on any asset, but you're going to be understanding of what you're looking at. I've told you about this before. What is that? Rejection block. That is your rejection block. So, as I'm telling you, right, and I'm hinting to you, I'm signaling to you, what are we going to do on AAL in the next, I don't know how long, right? Exactly. We're looking at this now as buy side liquidity, not a long term. We just reached a major rejection block. I mean, if not the best rejection block we've ever seen. And algorithmically, it's in the right level. Why does that wick stop directly there and not the low? Rejection block. It's a big ass candle with a huge, super, super huge wick at a support system that does not allow this to take the liquidity. It'll straight reject that and dip to the upside. And that's what you have. Again, it only works in the right level. You got to understand why we stop at certain places and why we don't. And look at your reaction. What is this? Liquidity void. What does that do? 12% jump in the algorithm, right? Makes long, insane candles. Therefore, you want to get bullish. You understood this is a rejection block. You can get long in here, right? So if we want to pull it down, right? Again, I want a monthly chart, so let's pull it down one at a time, right? So here, we want to keep our rejection block in. Let's highlight that, block that, and then let's do down to our daily chart, right? How would you get in? How do we frame that? Now, we're already coming from the rejection block down here, all right? So watch the levels here. Little piece of price action. It's that perfect. And look, you're just going to come down here and then weekly profile that shit straight up. So we will come in here, replay button, select bar. Now let's really come in here. So this is, oh wow, this is actually perfect. It's actually really perfect too. Watch. So what I'm talking about is the day of the week that the move actually happened. And look, get a fair value gap and everything. Probably on the 9. So we're going to do one thing at a time. This is a Monday. And you get Monday low of the week. This shows strongly that this does want to reject, obviously. And this is your day to start that. Monday low of the week. Tuesday, Wednesday. And look at Thursday. Amazing expansion. Amazing. And again, it does create a gap. So if you do miss this from down here, you can get in again. If you don't want to, you know, worry about theta, right? You're trying to get in right when the move starts. So again, what I tell you guys about entry hacks. This is your entry hack. Super, super bullish right here, right? You're going to take the trade right when this is expanding. So if you wake up that day, you say, okay, I want to see if this low is protected. We're breaking highs. We're respecting lows. We're bullish. And you can pyramid again when you understand this, because you understand that this is a projection block. You're not looking for this to trade lower at a buy program. Be more confident in your ideas. Understand more about the chart. Since none of this is random, think how much you can actually accomplish week by week, day by day, having a perspective that you need to be successful. And again, why do you also understand that this is going to be a good week to trade higher? You have gaps that need to be filled. You have buy side liquidity engineered as trendline liquidity, right? All this here, right? And then look, when we play it, right? It just matches that. Just matches it. All that trend line. See what I mean? And that gap's here. You feel me? That's why we're smack dab in that gap right now. You see what I'm saying? You feel me? And we're going to fill that in, right? So you understand exactly what we're doing right now. And again, we have the levels. So I talked about liquidity void. So you could go find an entry down here, but you have to be patient, right? Like I said, don't get too impatient and try to just start buying shit. No. Understand where you need to get in. You got to be strategic. You look for a fair value gap, just find a fair value gap. Want to find an order block? Find an order block. It's right where you expect it. Right in the level it's supposed to be in. What's confusing about that? Am I going to go find you a Perfect fair value gap. Let's go for it. All right. So check it out. We're on the. Let's go up one. Let's check it out. So yeah, wow, look at that. So yeah, that's interesting. Is it a bigger fair value that we could use for over here? Maybe. No, not clean enough for me. But that means it probably gave us a new one then. Okay. So here, either what's on, if not the daily, it's going to be on our 4 hour, right? So this is our partition here, and I guarantee you there's a fair value gap inside of this area that was clean. Even if we can't find it on a big enough one where I could swing it comfortably. So let me see 4 hour. That means we need to find one on a lower time frame that was clean. All right. So look at all this. That's horrible looking if you did not have these concepts. And that's why we do this on this channel, bro, because like I understand where it's difficult for people to say, yo, like I cannot with, it just seems so random to me. Like every one of these candles seems so out of place when it's really not. And again, we're looking for that fair value gap, and you damn well know we found it. There's actually two really good ones. So, and again, we're biased, right? So we understand like, we're in this area here, and I gotta get in there. I mean, get in there. Oh my God. But here's our perfect one here. Fair value gap, right? Perfect. I like that a lot. And it's a 1 hour fair value gap, so it's quick and it's easy, it's clean. And it's right in your partition, so you know to use this one. It's the cleanest one you have at the bottom of your partition too. It's at the very bottom. If this one didn't work, because you're bullish. You're not selling it. You already know you're bullish. You're only looking for bullish PD arrays when you're bullish. So if you need to look for an imbalance, it's not going to be anywhere over here. This is not clean enough for me. Maybe on a lower time frame, but I would like to go for an hour, 4 hour, or a daily gap. Because just so you don't have to waste any time knowing that this is going to be speedy right outside of this PD array. And it's going to work. I mean, and you got liquidity void coming up next. You got liquidity void that doesn't have to be immediately filled in, of course, too. So that's another gem going into, again, higher time frames. It looks a lot cleaner, right? When we go to, yeah, you see what I mean? You go to a weekly, it looks a lot cleaner. But that's why I say you really want to prepare yourself for, again, these move so slow compared to NQ, YM, all the ones that we love on futures. Even like forex, right? Just slow. But you understand exactly why we're aiming up. I want you guys to be in profit. And again, coming outside of the liquidity void, this is going to come up and tap this EQ. We might, or actually not might. Let's see if we can get another good entry from this EQ and then drive it upward. All right. And so from there, what we can do, I'm gonna give you a little gem on this one, right? Real quick, real quick. Half shift to 9, bro. So watch this. When you come up to here, that's what I said. When we come right above the EQ, you're going to look for this to consolidate a little bit. You want it to. You want it to get comfortable in the dealing range. You want it to really tell you, like, yo, like, I'm having trouble. And again, this is really the 9's EQ. But if I half shift it, it gives me another perspective, doesn't it? So this is buy side liquidity, right? This is nothing but a stop run, clearly. Stop run, clearly, right? All this is just PL3 liquidity, so I can attack that from down here. And then you aim at this high or whole shift high, half shift EQ. And you have liquidity, liquidity, and you're going to aim for this, okay? And look, it's a massive, massive move. I need you to feel me on that. Do not slip. You've watched this video. Do not slip. If you trade options, feel what I'm saying. On your demo account, you know exactly what to do. All right? You know exactly what to do. You know the vibes. All right? So, I will meet you guys back here for Nike. All right? Let's get liquidity week started this week. Then we have order block week. We have a couple gems. And of course, our market reviews. So, I will see you guys in the next video, hopefully you're paying attention to the target. Whole shift, half shift, we can do a lot here. Okay. And so especially we're operating about $22 up here. First target is $18. Yeah. Okay. And again, we have liquidity here too. So this is a clear, um, you can hold it a little higher than your EXT level, which is 19. All right. So cool. I will see you guys in the next video. Damn, that was fun.